Griff Hamlin here. Now, if you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you'll recognize that this is a very, very different sound from most of the stuff I do. That's because today's lesson is not blues specific in any sort of way. This is an exercise that is based off of a classical piece, actually, that I used to play in my teens and early 20s. It's a very common type of classical warm-up thing. And I've adapted it to electric guitar specifically for the purpose of working with students on playing in position and having your fingers stay where they're supposed to go and allow you to be able to, look at a piece of music in front of you or watch a video or whatever it happens to be and not have to look at your fingers so that you're not going back and forth all the time. It's not a tennis match, okay? So this is a very simple piece. It's great for your technique. It's great for a lot of things. So I wanted to share it with you. And it's based off of the G major scale. So you're also going to learn a G major scale. This is what we call a traditional diatonic is the theoretical term for this. This is a 2-octave fingering because from the bottom to the top is 2 octaves. It's going to start on G. The notes are going to be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G in the key of G. All right? So we got 3rd and 5th frets on the 6th string, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th on the 5th string, 2nd, 4th, and 5th on the 4th string, 2nd, 4th, and 5th on the 3rd string, and that's A, B, C. We started over again. D, E is 3rd and 5th frets of the 2nd string, the F sharp and G, 2nd and 3rd fret on the 1st string. Now, one of the things that I want you to notice is, for example, here on the 5th string, when I have the 2nd, the B, the C, and the D, notice that when I get to the D, my 1st and 2nd fingers are still touching the string. I haven't lifted them up. Same here. My 1st and 3rd fingers are still on the string. I'm not pushing hard, but they're still there. That is, from a technique standpoint, that's an extremely important point because it's economy of motion. It's not moving your fingers more than you need to, okay? A lot of people, particularly beginners, fall into the pattern of going, every time they go to the next note, they lift up the old finger. And so the hand, it actually hurts my hand to do this, gets, the fingers are so far away. And of course the hand cramps and gets tired and, all this stuff. And it's because you're working so hard to lift the fingers away from the old notes, when in fact you don't have to do anything at all. And if you can get comfortable with not doing anything at all, you can play longer with less fatigue. If you have tendonitis or carpal tunnels or any of those repetitive stress injuries, hopefully those things will not be exacerbated so badly if your technique can improve and you're using less energy in general. All right, so that is the fundamental pattern. Okay, so when you sit down to play this piece of music, that's where you want to put your hand to get started. Okay, now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to play it slowly, but I'm not going to really call out the notes as they go by. I'm going to transcribe it, obviously. I'm going to leave it in tab and I'm going to leave it nearby so you can get it. But the whole point here is that you watch the tab, okay? Or if you read notation, you can read the notation. But the whole part of the exercise here is to read that and not look at your hands. Okay, so literally, print it out, put the paper down in front of you, and play it while reading that and not looking at your hands. When you see a number or you see a note, you translate it, but your eyes stay on the page. That's the point of the exercise. So if I walk you through it note by note, of course you'll memorize it. Now at some point you're going to memorize it anyway, and at that point it becomes a little more than a technique exercise. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for now, I really want you to practice on that playing in position thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count it in and I'm going to play it slowly. and hopefully you can play it along with me, again, reading the music. But this, because of the way we're going to do it, you get to use your ears. So if you play a wrong note, you'll hear that it doesn't match up with mine. And that should do the job of, oops, I must have made a mistake. Then, of course, you want to look down. Now, the key about making mistakes is in how you handle them. And I've written blog posts about this and talked in many instances about it before. But how you handle mistakes is really, really important. Do not go back to the beginning and start over when you make a mistake. When you make a mistake, try and look on the page. Your eyes should still be on the page, so you know where you are. Okay, so make a mental note of where you are. Fix your fingering, look down, fix your fingering. Look back at the sheet and continue from there. Don't start over. You could go back a note or two so that you can play it cleanly, but don't start over. All starting over is going to do is continue to reinforce that same mistake in the same place. It's very, very important that you smooth that mistake over as soon as it's made. Go, even play it through a few times if you need to, okay? So, in all likelihood, playing along with me isn't going to work out very well right off the bat. You're probably going to have to just play with the sheet a few times. But when you think you've got the hang of it, come back here and let's give it a try, okay? So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right, so hopefully you're able to play that along with me. I realize it's a little bit of a challenge, but if you get it down and you can go through the process, it's really the process more than it is the final result, okay? You may have a hard time getting all your fingers to stay down, but simply the act of trying will improve your technique. It could take a year before you can actually do that. You may never get there. It may never happen. But at least you're aware of it. At least you're conscious of it. And at least for a few minutes each day, you're working on improving it. And that's what's important. Okay? So I hope you will save this. I'll put a link to a PDF of the tab. I hope that you will try it for at least a few minutes every day until you can do it without making a mistake. Yes, you're going to memorize it, and that's okay. Then it just becomes a technique exercise, and you can use it as a warm-up. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's a great little way to warm up. I still play it all the time. Okay, but for now, it'll be a great exercise to work on being able to play without looking at your hand, because all the notes should fall under a finger right as they lay there. Okay, so give it a shot, have fun, and I will see you again soon.